MJ for they killed him. Heartbreaking facts about Michael Jackson you never knew.
Never in the history of music has there been an artist so loved, yet so tragically misunderstood. Michael Jackson was more than just a global superstar. He was a man who carried a lifetime of pain behind his iconic smile. The world saw the legend.
Wait, is this turned up all the way? Oh no, it's not. I'm like, it sounds kind of low. But what is the heartbreak? How is it heartbreaking facts about Michael Jackson that we never knew? Heartbreaking. Cause we know he his hat caught on fire. We know that was heartbreaking. What else? Where else could there be though? That's what
He understood the suffering he endured. And some of these stories, they're heartbreaking. Michael Jackson's life was filled with achievements that no artist has ever come close to replicating. He broke records, inspired millions, and shaped the music industry forever. But behind the glitz and glamour, there was a man who was deeply lonely, constantly betrayed, and forced to endure pain, both physical and emotional. From childhood abuse to media crucifixion, from personal betrayals to being robbed of his peace, Michael's story is filled with moments that will make you question, was the price of his success worth it?
It'd be hard like that. That's the only thing. It'd be like, damn, do it be worth it? That'd be the only thing.
Michael Jackson's rise to fame wasn't just a story of talent. It was a story of pain. From a young age, he was forced into the spotlight, not by choice, but by the demands of his father, Joe Jackson. Joe was more than just a strict parent. He was abusive. He would constantly insult Michael, belittling him by calling him big-nosed, and even cruelly saying, "You're too black to be my child." These words cut deep.
That's crazy. He told his son he too black to be his child? So wait a minute, what he trying to say? He trying to say the mother, he trying to say Michael Jackson's mama was cheating on him? What did he mean by that?
Wounds that never fully healed. Michael spent his entire life struggling with self-esteem issues, a battle that only grew worse as time went on. But the pain wasn't just emotional, it became physical too. As he got older, Michael was diagnosed with lupus, an autoimmune disease that caused extreme skin sensitivity and swelling. The treatment he underwent for it altered his appearance, giving him what some described as a moon face. The world mocked his changing looks, never realizing that behind the transformations was a man battling a painful disease. In January 1984, Michael's life changed forever. He was filming a Pepsi commercial when something went terribly wrong. A pyrotechnic
we know about this when his hair caught on fire. That was definitely heartbreaking for sure.
Went off at the wrong time, and his hair caught fire. The flames burned his scalp badly, leaving a painful bald spot about the size of a palm. The pain was unbearable, and doctors gave him strong painkillers to help. This was the moment that started his struggle with painkiller addiction. Wow. From then on, he had to wear wigs and hairpieces to hide the bald spot. It wasn't just a physical scar, it was a painful memory that stayed with him for the rest of his life. But that wasn't the only thing he had to hide. Michael's fame was so extreme that he couldn't go anywhere without being followed.
Exactly.
Even a simple trip to the store or a walk in the park was impossible. To experience even a little bit of normal life, he started wearing disguises. Wigs, sunglasses, hats, and even fake mustaches, just to blend in. He wanted to feel what it was like to be a regular person, even if it was only for a short time. Michael Jackson's Bad album was a massive success. At the time...
Oh, come on now, what's going on? Commercial break? Come on, we was doing so well, computer. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Do not do this to me. Please don't do this to me. We was doing so well.
It was the second best-selling album in history, with hit after hit dominating the charts. But despite this, at the 1988 Grammy Awards, he didn't win a single award. Not one.
What?
The music industry turned its back on him, robbing him of the recognition he rightfully...
Bro, I didn't even know that. It was a time when Michael Jackson didn't win not one single musical award? I did not know that. Now that's new. That's news to me. That's definitely news to me.
It was a clear sign that awards weren't always about talent or success. They were about politics. Michael didn't complain, but the snub was obvious. He had broken records, yet they acted as if his work didn't matter.
Damn.
As successful as he was, Michael never truly felt free. Fame was like a cage, and no matter where he went, he was followed, chased, and watched. He couldn't walk down the street without crowds forming. He couldn't go to a restaurant without being mobbed. Even in his own home, cameras and helicopters would invade his privacy. He once said, "I am the most lonely person in the world." The world adored him, but very few really knew him. To fill the emptiness he felt inside, he created Neverland, a magical place for children to play and experience the joy he never had as a kid. He built amusement rides, a zoo, and a theater, hoping to bring happiness to those who needed it. But even this dream was taken from him. Greedy people saw his kindness as a way to make money, accusing him of terrible things just to get a payout. The place that was meant to be a sanctuary turned into a nightmare, forever tarnished by lies and betrayal. Michael Jackson was known.
One thing you could count on in this world we call, one thing you can count on in this world and in your lifetime is people betraying on you, people turning on you, people doing you wrong. That's just something you could count on. You just could count on that.
For his incredible performances, but behind the scenes, he was pushing his body beyond its limits. He would rehearse for hours, barely eat, and suffer from extreme exhaustion.
This man is rehearsing in a snow coat? Michael was insane, bro. Michael was insane.
And dehydration. There were times when he was so weak that he collapsed on stage, yet no matter how much pain he was in, he refused to cancel a show. He believed his fans came first, and he didn't want to disappoint them. Even when his body was screaming for rest, he kept going, giving everything he had until he physically couldn't anymore. But while he gave so much to the world, not everyone around him had good intentions. Michael was surrounded by fake friends and greedy people who only cared about what they could get from him. Some pretended to love him, only to betray him later. Others took advantage of his generosity, using him for money or fame. It was heartbreaking. He wanted to believe in people, but time and time again, he was let down. In the middle of all this, there was one rare moment of joy. In 1993, at the age of 35, Michael celebrated his first Christmas. Growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, he was never allowed to celebrate holidays. But that year, his close friend Elizabeth Taylor surprised him with a Christmas tree, gifts, and holiday decorations. It was a small, beautiful moment that reminded him of what he had missed as a child. The first false allegations against Michael in 1993 shattered him. He had spent his whole life spreading love and helping children, only to be accused of something he never did. The media ran with the story, dragging his name through the mud. His image was tarnished forever, and he lost so much, not just financially, but emotionally. He later admitted that settling the case was the worst mistake of his life. He didn't want to pay. He wanted to fight to prove his innocence. But the pressure was too much, and his advisors convinced him it was the only way to move forward. In the end, it wasn't about justice. It was an extortion attempt, a way to steal.
It wasn't no attempt. Shit, it was a extortion success. They extorted him. There wasn't an attempt if they got paid
from him under the guise of lies. The pain from the accusations wasn't just inside him. It showed on stage. During his first performance after the scandal, in front of thousands of fans, he took off his glasses, and everyone saw the tears running down his face. Despite everything, he never stopped smiling for his fans. But deep down, Michael hated his smile. He once said he didn't like the way it looked, yet he kept smiling because he knew his fans loved it. And if you search the most beautiful...
I never heard that. Michael hated his smile? He had a perfect smile. What the hell?
Smile in the world, Michael's face is still there. People often...
said, wait, if you search up the most beautiful smile in the world, Michael Jackson smile gonna pop up? That's crazy. And he hated it? That's crazy. Oh my God. That's kind of sad though, because he did have a beautiful smile and he didn't even like it.
Judged Michael for the way he raised his 3 children. Because he was a single father and kept them out of the public eye, many questioned his parenting. But in reality, he was a loving and devoted dad who only wanted to protect his kids from the harsh world that had hurt him so much. He gave them a childhood filled with love, something he never had growing up. While outsiders criticized his choices, those who knew him saw that his children were his greatest joy. By 2001, Michael's addiction was at its worst. It started after he hurt his back on stage in 1999, and the pain never went away. He had to take painkillers just to get through the day. Around the same time, he also had a close call with danger. On September 10th, 2001, a photo was taken of him in New York. He was supposed to be at the Twin Towers the next day, but for some reason, he didn't go. That decision may have saved his life. In 2002, Michael was invited to the MTV Video Music Awards on his birthday. On stage, he was handed a trophy, and he truly believed he was receiving the Artist of the Millennium Award. But the truth was, there was no such award. MTV never planned to give him a real honor. They just wanted him there to boost their ratings.
Wow.
They used his name for attention, making him believe he was being celebrated, only to embarrass him in front of the world. A year later, things got even worse. In 2003, Michael was arrested, and the way he was treated was shocking. The police didn't just arrest him, they humiliated him. He was bruised and mishandled, a victim of police brutality. But the worst part? They locked him in a filthy bathroom, covered in feces, for 45 minutes. This was a man who had spent his life giving to the world. Yet when he needed fairness and dignity, he was treated like nothing. When Michael showed up to court in his pajamas, the media mocked him, making it seem like he was being careless. But the truth was much different. That morning, he was rushed to the hospital because he was in severe pain. Despite this, the judge, who was clearly against him, ordered that if he didn't appear in court, he would be thrown in jail. Michael had no choice but to show up, even though he could barely walk. That's why his bodyguards had to hold him up. But instead of showing concern, the media turned it into a joke, ignoring the fact that he was suffering. Even the king of pop had struggles. Behind the music and fame, all he wanted was love and acceptance. But instead of kindness, he was judged, used, and hurt. Even when he was sick and could barely stand, the world still made fun of him. But no matter what, he never stopped. He kept smiling, kept giving, and kept performing for the people who truly loved him.
Okay, that's it, man. That's crazy. I never knew he didn't like his smile. I never knew it was a time where he didn't get an award, like, for his musical genius that he is and all the hits that he made. And that's just crazy, bro. That's just crazy. Like, forget the politics side of things. Like, it gets to a point where it's just like, bro, right is right, wrong is wrong. Like, if y'all know this man literally got the #1 record, how y'all gonna give the award to somebody else? Like, it be stuff like that that just be, stuff like that'll irritate me. It'll blow me. Like, I hate stuff like that. Like, but stuff do come down to politics sometimes. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments below. If y'all enjoy watching this with your boy Jamar, hit the like button for me as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see y'all in the next video.